and welcome to season 4 of my podcast. Today, my guest is Vandhana Bala, the General Counsel for Global Food Partners. Prior to working with Global Food Partners, Vandhana was the Senior Vice President for Programs and General Counsel for Mercy for Animals. She is also the co-founder and board member of Good Food Institute. Vandhana also worked as an associate Sidley and Austin in Chicago. Hi Vandhana, welcome to my show.
Hi Curious Vedant, I'm so happy to be here today and to take some time to talk with you.
Yeah, this is really exciting. I've interviewed my dad twice. I've also interviewed Lissy.
That's wonderful. I work very closely with your dad and with Lissy every day, so I'm very happy to talk to you more about what we do.
So Vandana, I'm curious to know how you started working as a lawyer for animals from working at Sidley and Austin.
That's a great question, Curious Vedant. I worked at Sidley and Austin for 5 years in the US, and I really loved the work and I loved the people. But one thing I wanted to do very much is to use my degree as a lawyer to help animals. I've always loved animals since I was a small child, and I feel very sad when I think about how animals are harmed every day in our world. I wanted to use my degree to do something meaningful and to help make the world a better place.
Yeah, that's really nice because even I really love animals, and when I grow up, I want to take over my dad's position at GFP.
That's wonderful. I think you would do a great job. What is your favorite animal?
I don't really know because I just love all kinds of animals.
Me too. I love them all.
Yeah, they're all nice in a different way.
Exactly.
You have chickens, they're cute in the size and the way they speak. But you have leopards, they're cute with the way their skin is.
Do you know that animals are so smart? They're smart and they feel feelings and emotions just like human beings.
Wow, I didn't know that. And I also know that elephants have really good memory.
They do.
That's why there's a similarly memory like an elephant.
Exactly. Did you know that elephants are vegetarian?
Yes, I did.
Isn't that wonderful?
That is wonderful.
And animals, they feel happiness just like we do. They feel fear and pain just like we do.
And they feel angriness, right?
They do. And they have friends.
Yeah.
And they talk to each other in their own languages. It's really wonderful.
Like probably tigers and lions have roars, and chickens have claw.
Yep. But each chicken noise means something else, and they can all understand each other and what they say.
Wow, that's so fascinating.
Do you do anything to help animals?
Yes, I'm actually vegetarian turning vegan.
Oh, that's wonderful. What does vegan mean?
It means you don't have any animal products.
That's great. Is it pretty easy to be vegetarian?
Yes, it is.
I'm vegan, and I find it's also very easy to be vegan. Especially now, so many nice products that don't use any animal products.
In fact, right here in our house, we have loads of vegan cheese.
You do?
And now I'm stopping to eat normal milk cheese, like goat's milk and cow's milk, and I'm actually eating vegan cheese.
How do you like the vegan cheese?
It's good. Like in my burgers earlier, I used to have, there's like normal milk cheese. Now whenever my parents make burgers and send me to send it, it tastes so good with the vegan cheese.
It does. And did you know that in addition to helping animals, when you're vegan, it's better for your health. So you're helping yourself and you're also helping the environment.
Yeah, that's really good.
So there's a good reason for everyone to try and eat vegan food because it helps animals, it helps themselves, and it helps the earth.
Yep, it always does. because we need animals.
We do.
We need animals because they're part of they're part of our lives. Because without animals, we wouldn't be able to have the kind of food we have. Like, because animals actually help us grow food.
They do. I think one of your other guests talked about bees and how important they are to our food system.
Yeah.
Because they pollinate. They help us pollinate.
Yeah, they pollinate fruits.
Yes. So without bees, we would have a really hard time getting a lot of the fruits and vegetables that we need.
That is true. Yeah. So we need bees and other animals.
Yes, we do.
And we also need birds because they help us grow plants. In science class, I learned that birds help us with growing plants because when they eat the fruit, there are many ways which they disperse, and the seeds always touch the ground and they grow. One is and there are many types of seeds. One is the helicopter kind of ones, and then one is the birds just poop the seeds out.
Yes.
And there are many other kinds.
Yeah, that's fascinating. I think you know a lot about animals already.
I think I do too.
That's wonderful.
And also here in the train stations, the transport companies, they have put out these posters saying, don't use your cars and just help the earth by riding a bike to your favorite restaurants, or if you ride a car, all the glaciers melt.
Right, that's true.
Yeah, so I think everyone's trying to help animals and our earth.
I think that's wonderful. I think we all need to come together, to work together and help animals and help humans and just try and make the world a better place.
Yeah. Anyway, what do you do at GFP?
Well, at GFP, which stands for Global Food Partners, I work with your father and I work with Lissy, and I am the General Counsel, which means I am the lawyer for the organization.
Meaning if anything happens, like if anyone sues the organization, you will help them?
That's correct. That's just one aspect of what I do. I also help within the organization do things correctly and legally. I write contracts. I help set up the offices, and I handle generally all of the legal matters that come to Global Food Partners.
What are legal matters?
Anything involving the law that GFP has to do. There are lots of laws and regulations that businesses must follow. And I help make sure that GFP is following all of the laws and regulations and doing everything correctly.
Wow.
One other type of work that I do at GFP that is probably my favorite type of work I do at GFP is I work on with an organization called Impact Alliance.
Oh, what do they do?
Well, Impact Alliance is really cool. And there's not really any other organization like Impact Alliance in the world. So we're really making news and making waves. Impact Alliance is a group of organizations who all care about the earth and want to make sure that we preserve our natural resources as much as possible while still meeting our needs as humans. And there's different types of items that Impact Alliance deals with: leather, cotton, soy, and at Global Food Partners, we focus on cage-free eggs.
Cage-free eggs, like when hens are raised in cages, like battery cages, those are caged eggs, right?
That's correct. And these battery cages are so cruel to the hens. Many hens are packed tightly into a single cage.
Oh no.
Yeah, and each hen has less space than a sheet of paper. And they have to live their entire lives like that. Imagine if you couldn't stretch your arms or legs or walk around, how awful that would be.
That would be awful.
That's what these hens are forced to do. So at Global Food Partners, we work with companies and egg producers to make sure that we can now have cage-free eggs where the hens are given more space and they're not confined in these terrible cages. Do you like science, Vedant?
Yes, I do.
What's your favorite science subject?
Experiments.
Wow.
I like science and also science fiction.
Oh, that's great. What's your favorite science fiction?
I don't know, like all sorts of science fiction.
Excellent.
I know you like to spend time in nature because you always want to go to the pool with me.
I do.
Yeah, that's. In fact, I think we're going to go there right after this interview.
Yes, we are, and it's going to be fun.
Yep. There you can see loads of nature.
Really? What kind of nature will I see at
Loads
the pool?
of trees and birds.
Wonderful, wonderful. I love trees so much. I just love trees. I love all kinds of trees and plants and animals, of course.
Yeah. And do you have any interesting experiences?
I do. I was lucky enough to spend 4 months camping
What?
in nature.
How did you live day to day?
Well, I had a tent.
That obviously you need.
Yes, you need a tent to protect you from the rain and to
Sleeping
sleep.
bags.
I had a sleeping bag, and when I was camping, it was in the colder months, so it got very, very cold at night.
So you need a fire.
I needed a fire and a warm sleeping bag, so I would have an axe and I would chop my own wood to build a fire. And I would stay by the fire until it was time to sleep because there's no electricity. We have no lights, no heaters. In fact, there's not even running water. So I would collect my water for the time I was camping and fill jugs and buckets and use that water. And I would cook my own food, but there's no fridge and there's no oven or stovetop. I had a small little camping stove, just one single burner, and I would put a can of propane in the stove and turn it on and cook my food.
Is it like a paraffin burner stove?
Something very similar to that, yes. Have you ever used one of those stoves?
No, but I've heard and read a lot about it.
Oh, yeah. I love camping. It's just so much fun for me to be in nature, surrounded by nature, and no cell phones and no computers. It's a really good way to relax and unwind.
Was it dangerous and were you feeling super scared?
I wasn't feeling very scared most of the time because I don't really get scared very easily, but I think what I did to help not be scared is I really did a lot of planning and preparation before I left. So I took all the first aid supplies in case, I got a cut or a burn or sunburn, something like that. A bruise. I took all the camping supplies I would need. I always made sure to have extra food and extra water. And I would go for long hikes by myself in the wilderness. And when I hiked, I always made sure I had things to keep me warm at night in case I got lost and had to sleep overnight in the wilderness.
Did you dig burrows in the snow and sleep there?
Well,
in snowdrifts?
The good thing is I didn't have to sleep in any snowdrifts because it didn't snow a lot when I was camping. I camped between September and December in California, and I managed to avoid the snow. But one time when I was camping, there was a hailstorm. Do you know what hail is?
Yeah, did your tent rip?
It didn't rip, but I could hear the hail falling on my tent, and it would make a bouncing noise, and it was really cold. So that day, I spent the entire day in my sleeping bag, curled up in my tent because it was so cold outside. I didn't even go out to light a fire.
Oh no.
But I bring books and I bring my guitar, and it's really nice to relax and read and play guitar and sing, and that's how I would pass my time when I was camping.
Were there any rangers?
Oh yeah, there's lots of park rangers who make sure that the campers are safe, and that also the animals are safe, and that the people don't harm the animals and the animals don't harm the people. And there's special kinds of rangers who maintain the hiking trails. So they go out in the trails and make sure the trails are still walkable, and they clean up any litter that might be there and just go into the wilderness. In fact, it's always been a dream of mine since I was a little girl to be a park ranger. I camped in Yosemite, which is in California.
Yeah, Yosemite.
And what's interesting is in the US, Yosemite National Park was the very first park that the government said, hey, we should keep some land and not build houses and not build shopping malls. We should keep some land just natural so that everyone can come and enjoy the natural land. And Yosemite was the very first park that happened to, back in the 1930s.
Wow.
Long time ago.
Yeah. It must have been super fun. Did the rangers always ask you whether you were fine?
Yeah, they did. The rangers were so nice and so friendly. And so I met a lot of rangers, and I would chat with them, and I learned valuable information from them, and they suggest where to hike and where to go and what to see. And they also give safety tips to make sure that we're safe and careful.
That's really good, because if they didn't give you safety tips, you would probably be stuck, or you would got badly injured.
That's true. That's true.
So it's really good, isn't it?
It's very good. It's very good. The park rangers are very helpful, and they play a very important role in the national park system.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really want to do camping sometime. Yep.
In fact, I would be happy to take you on a camping trip anytime you want.
To where?
Well, if you come to the U.S., we can go camping in the U.S. There's lots of beautiful parks and campgrounds.
Nice. That's so good, because I've never done camping.
I think it's something you should try. I think you'll love it.
Have you ever done glamping?
No, I haven't. I prefer to do things in a more natural and basic way. And glamping is fun, and some people really like it, but I like to be a little bit more into the natural experience of it.
Glamping, you have like TVs inside, portable TVs, and you have pillows. It's basically like a small house.
Yeah, it is. And when I go camping,
like one of those ancient Roman wooden huts.
Oh, yeah. I go camping so that I can escape all of that. I don't want TV, and I don't want cell phone or computer or Apple Watch. So I go camping so I can leave all that behind and clear my head and really get refreshed.
Yeah. What does Sidley and Austin do? Coming back to the first question.
Sure. Sidley and Austin is a law firm, and it's one of the biggest law firms in the world. There are thousands of lawyers in cities all over the world, and it's a law firm that helps primarily corporations handle their legal matters, just like I help Global Food Partners handle their legal matters. And Sidley and Austin has some of the smartest lawyers and smartest people I've ever met. And so I got really good training and experience, and I made a lot of good friends while I worked there, who I still keep in touch with.
I also know that Barack and Michelle Obama worked there.
They did. In fact, that's where they met. Michelle Obama was working as a lawyer at Sidley and Austin, and Barack Obama was working there as a summer associate before he finished his law school. And they met, and well, the rest is history.
And you want to ask me any questions?
Yeah, I do. I want to know, you've interviewed so many people now.
More than 80.
More than 80? And it's really impressive. You've had a podcast every week for what, more than 1 year?
More than 80 days. More than 80 weeks.
Wow. And so you've interviewed a lot of interesting people.
I have.
And they have a lot of different jobs.
Oh no, I have 87.
That's fantastic. That's almost 2 full years of podcasts, Vedant. Very impressive. So after interviewing all these people, do you have any idea of what you'd like to be?
Well, if you've listened to all my podcasts, you'd know that I've always said, well, I think I'm going to be that. So I have probably 87 things I want to be.
Wow.
87 and more. So, what did you want to be as a child?
As a child, I wanted to be a singer.
And a ranger, right?
And a park ranger. But I really love to sing, and I still sing, but I don't sing professionally. But when I was in college, I studied music.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how did you end up becoming a lawyer?
If you want to be a professional singer, it's really competitive and it's really a struggle. It's a tough thing to earn a living being a musician. Very difficult. And I wanted to keep singing as something I really love and that brings me a lot of joy. And I felt if I were trying to make a living out of it, I might not like it so much. It would become a job rather than something I love to do. And I thought if I was a lawyer, I could use my law degree to help animals and to help people. That's something that is slightly different from being a singer. I think singers help animals and people too because music is very important. But I decided to keep singing as a hobby and to pursue a career as a lawyer.
That's really good because I don't think animals should be hurt that much. Humans, okay. Animals, not okay.
Yeah, well, animals are truly innocent and they can't speak up for themselves at all.
Humans, fine, criminals, they deserve to go to jail and be beaten. But animals, how can they be criminals?
Right, they're so innocent, they don't do anything that's illegal or harmful.
That's true. So I think they shouldn't be beaten up.
I agree with you 100%, Curious Vedant.
Thank you so much for coming on my show.
Thank you for inviting me, Curious Vedant. I had a wonderful time talking with you.
This was so fun.
It was so fun for me too.
Yeah, I enjoyed it 100%.
Now let's go swimming.
Yep. Dear listeners, follow my Facebook page, Curious Vedant, to get updates on my upcoming episodes. To listen at leisure on your phone and get notified about future episodes, subscribe by searching for Curious Vedant wherever you get your podcasts, such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, and many more. You can also listen to my show on CuriousVedant.com. Thank you for listening to Curious Vedant, and don't forget to rate and leave comments.